at the far edges of the ocean, the great ship Helios, a pinnacle of science, makes its way. Amid deep waters and dark skies, there is the distant screaming of the passengers, of men who have reached beyond the boundaries of space and time and brought something terrible back with them. Do these actions spell doom for the Helios, or does the past hold the key to escaping this sinister fate? Close to the Sun is an adventure game with horror elements. In it, you play as Rose, a young woman who, after receiving a mysterious letter from her sister, travels to the Helios, an enormous ocean liner that travels the world performing scientific experiments. Apparently, in this alternate universe, the genius inventor Nikola Tesla grew weary of worldly politics, so he built an enormous ship where he could conduct his research in peace. However, by the time you arrive, things have gone horribly wrong. Extra-dimensional monsters have started appearing and attacking the crew. Your goal, therefore, is to find your sister and hopefully escape with her before exotic energies tear the entire ship apart. Mechanically, Close to the Sun plays like a very traditional adventure game. The gigantic vessel is divided into a series of levels. As you enter each one, you'll need to collect clues and solve puzzles in order to progress to the next area. As you enter new environments, you'll be able to find notes, books, and collectibles that will provide you with new information. You may even find haunting images that will provide more clues as to what happened before everything went wrong. As you explore, you will need to collect keys and sometimes solve puzzles so that you can unlock the doors and elevators that will allow you to progress. However, be warned, at certain points of the game, you will also be menaced by dangerous creatures. They will chase you through the bowels of the ship, and you'll have to quickly choose the right path to escape and survive. So, what's the good and bad of Close to the Sun? Well, for starters, the game looks great. It's not the most visually impressive game I've ever seen, but it does have fantastic visual design. There's a great variety of environments, from luxury apartments to soot-covered engine rooms, and even mysterious laboratories twisted by mad science. Plus, it all has a delightful Art Deco aesthetic, and the amount of detail put into the levels helps keep them on par with other games of their generation. The pacing of the game is also really strong. All of the levels are large enough that they can hide secrets and collectibles and allow you to explore, but not too large so that you get lost or bored along the way. Puzzles are also well spaced out throughout the environment, and the addition of monster chase sequences means that the game can add horror elements without interrupting your normal exploration of the level. As for lesser qualities, Close to the Sun has virtually none. There's nothing in it that I would qualify as either game-breaking or inconsistent. However, at the same time, the experience of the game is very plain, and I mean that to have multiple implications. The gameplay, for instance, has a very flat difficulty curve. Most of the puzzles are either very localized, which means that when you find a locked door, you'll find a key just sitting right next to it, or very simple in that they require just basic deduction or repetition to solve. Even when the game does try to threaten you with the monster chase sequences, while you're escaping, there are a limited number of paths you can choose from, and choosing wrong results in instantaneous death. So sooner or later, just through trial and error, you're going to pick the right path and escape. The story of the game is also very homogeneous, at least in terms of your interaction with it. The game has a fascinating premise, but you, the player, don't really get an opportunity to do anything meaningful with it. For instance, even though one of the main plot points is that extra-dimensional monsters are attacking the ship, you yourself don't actually get to do anything involving alternate dimensions. Instead, you spend all of your time running errands for the NPCs so that they can spend their important time altering the fabric of reality. The worst example of this is how the game casually mentions time travel through alternate dimensions as a possibility and then does nothing with it. It winds up being just the fluff that they use to justify all their potential plot holes. In the end, I would give Close to the Sun 3 out of 4 stars. It's good, but also kind of basic. Solid pacing and great level design make it the equal of its contemporaries. At the same time, it doesn't really have any unique gameplay mechanics or narrative beats that help it stand out. I would probably recommend this game to anybody looking for a basic adventure game with some light horror elements thrown in, as expecting any serious puzzles or more elaborate survival elements will probably leave you disappointed. Alright, well, thanks once again for listening. Till next time, unless next time has already happened before.